This vlog is a little different than my usual vlogs where I do travel content, and I'm actually feeling quite vulnerable about it and nervous. So I'm in South Korea in Seoul, and I've come here to get some skin treatments to address a few hang-ups I have about my skin that I'm actually very self-conscious about. So in my early 20s, I got adult acne. It just came out of nowhere, and it was really bad. It was really eruptive and therefore quite debilitating. I tried everything. I went down rabbit holes of treatments that I could have, topical treatments, and in the end I decided to go on Roaccutane, or Accutane as it's known in other countries. And about 8 months later, my skin had cleared. I'm now left with these pitted acne scars. And you probably haven't noticed them before because, as I said, I'm really self-conscious about them. And so I go to great lengths to hide them in my vlogs and in life by using things like good lighting. I normally stay in the shade. I don't go into the sunlight because the sun just brings out all of that terrible texture. I'm now going to show you the extent of these scars because you can't tell here. So I'm going to go up to the window in my hotel. I'm going to get up real close so the sun shines through so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's go expose my skin. So if you see here, it's just so textured. That one's pretty bad. I'm going to take some pictures so I can, oh, that's a good angle. See, look at this. That's just a huge... I'm going to take some pictures so you can see before and afters, definitely. And another thing is skin laxity, particularly like around my jowl area, and I'm getting smile lines. So I've actually got an 11 o'clock appointment today. So I have to make my way to Gangnam right now. There is over 10,000 cosmetic clinics in South Korea, so choosing which clinic was right for me was understandably overwhelming. But after months of contemplation, I booked an appointment at Wu Plastic Surgery and Dermatology. My appointment started with a thorough consultation with the doctor. After listening to my concerns and recommending several treatment options, we decided to go with Ultherapy for tightening and lifting the skin, Morpheus 8 for acne scars, Korean Botox for expression lines, and Korean Filler for smile lines. I was taken to an area where I could leave my belongings in a locker and wash my face. After some photos, I was then ushered into a small room and numbing cream was applied. The doctor soon met with me and my treatments began. We started with the Ultherapy, followed by the Morpheus 8. There's not much filming from this point on. I was kind of more concerned about dealing with the pain. I was quite red and bloody afterwards and my skin felt really hot, but they gave me a lovely cooling mask to help. I have just gotten back to my Airbnb and had a look at my face, and to be honest, I'm actually quite surprised at how much the redness has gone down. Did these treatments today hurt? Yeah, yeah, they hurt. Quite a lot, actually. The first one, Ulthera, felt like these little lightning bolts, like these little strings of electricity. They were shooting, not just through my skin, but through my muscle to my bone. And I could feel it hit my bone, but it wasn't like a sting. It was like a shot of like ache. So it was like, shoot, ache. And it was so fast that it was kind of just like, And to begin with, it wasn't that bad. It was actually like a 5 out of 10 as far as pain goes. But my doctor was so thorough, which I'm grateful for because it means that I'm going to get better results. But he was so thorough that he went over the same spot 5 times
So I had all under here done and under my neck. And by the 5th round, the pain had jumped from a 5 up to an 8, maybe a 9. And then the next treatment was the Morpheus. Saw it on social media, YouTube, read about it in blogs, and everyone was going on about how much it hurt. But I didn't find it that bad. I give it maybe like a 7 out of 10 purely because it was afterwards when the pain kind of kicked in. My skin really, really stung and it felt quite hot. Actually, it's worth mentioning, if you do have this treatment, you will probably smell your skin burning. So that was a bit surreal. Next up, I had filler in my nasolabial folds, and I had this done with cannula. So that means there's only one incision on each side instead of several. So the cannula entered here and then was pushed up to the top of my lines there, which is a weird sensation. I wouldn't say it hurts, it's more just like a yanking. It was very, very quick, 5 minutes. So the pain was about a 6, not too bad. The Botox in this area was fine. It was like a little mosquito bite, really. It wasn't painful at all. But the Botox injections under there was 5 on each side. They were so bad. I was so surprised how painful they were. That was easily like a 9.5. It was over within a couple of minutes, but it was like, wow, really painful. So how much did this all cost? This is not a sponsored post. I paid for this with all of my own money. They never approached me. I found them. They have no idea I'm making a vlog. The price I'm giving you is what you can expect to pay, and the feedback I'm giving you is my honest opinion. I'm not being influenced in any way. So today, my whole treatment cost me 3,200,000 won. That is 2,500 USD, 1,950 pounds, or 2,285 euros. So that included the English translator, the cooling mask afterwards, and also the consultation fee. The doctor was fantastic. He gave me the time of day. You know, he wasn't rushing through my procedure so he could get to the next patient. And there was a next patient. It was a very busy clinic. He was very particular with his movements when it came to the laser. He was just very thorough, and I really, really appreciate that. I would have loved to know more about aftercare. So I wasn't told if I should wash my face tonight or not, if I should be using moisturizer, if I can exercise tomorrow. All these things I forgot to ask in the moment, but they're quite important to be told, I feel. And I just don't know the answer to them. They also provided me with a prescription and took me down to the chemist, and I handed in this prescription, and I was given a bunch of pills that I have no idea what they're for. So I have to take these tablets for 3 days, 3 times a day for 3 days. I don't know what they are. Good morning. It is the day after I received my skin treatments from Wua Plastic Surgery and Dermatology here in Korea. And I'm feeling fine. My skin is slightly tight. There is swelling here where I got the filler in my nasolabial folds. Got these 3 stickers, which I was told I have to keep on for 3 days. But it is fairly swollen around there. It doesn't hurt, it feels like maybe a very light bruise. So here's a picture of what my skin looked like yesterday before I had my treatment. And here is what my skin looks like this morning. So it would be ridiculous to think that I have any improvements now. That will come later on. I wanted to tell you about the tablets that they prescribed me. So I wasn't sure if I should take them. I have some other prescription medication that I didn't know if these will interact with, because they're just in these little plastic bags and they're not branded. So I contacted Wua last night. I sent them a text and just asked them if they could tell me a little bit more about these. They told me that this one here is for my stomach, which I think goes hand in hand with this antibiotic here, because antibiotics are ruthless when it comes to your stomach. This one here is a painkiller, and this one here reduces swelling. She wasn't able to give me the brand name of the antibiotic, so I don't know if there was any interactions between this and my other prescription medication. So I made the decision not to take them. Anyway, I will check in with you in another couple of days' time on day 3 and update you on how I'm tracking. It has been 3 days since I received my skin treatments at WUA Plastic Surgery and Dermatology. I have noticed that my skin has started to peel just really slightly. It's just tiny little hairs. I've also noticed I've got a big bruise there. It doesn't hurt. My nose is a wee bit grazed, and I think that's from the Morpheus. Once again, it doesn't hurt. I'm waking up with quite a lot of teeny tiny whiteheads, especially in this area. My jaw has started to hurt like a bruise when I poke it, which I don't do very often. And my Botox is starting to take effect between my eyes, and it's not really taking effect up here. And I might contact them again and see if I can go back sometime this week and get treated there, because it's so cheap. I went to a place called Olive Young, which is like the equivalent to a Sephora over here, but it's more like a Sephora cross price line. And I just got a whole huge basket full of stuff. But now my skincare routine is fairly light, so I'm not using any active skincare ingredients, not until my skin is fully healed. I am at the moment using Perfect Whip. This is just a cleanser. Advanced Nail 96 Mucin Power Essence by Cosmetic. Then I'm using this Red Bean Water Gel by Josin. And then on top of that, I'm using, this was from Japan, I was there a couple weeks ago, the Anessa 50 Plus Sun Cream. At night I'm using a thicker moisturizer. It's Josin again, it's the Dynasty moisturizer. Anyway, let's take a look at my before and afters. So this is before I had any treatment, and this is my skin today. The only immediate thing that you can see is filler. Everything else takes a bit more time. So I'm going to come back to you in a few more days' time, which will equal exactly 7 days after I had my treatment, and I'll once again update you. It has been exactly 1 week since I had my skin treatments at WUA Plastic Surgery and Dermatology here in Seoul, South Korea. So let's talk about how my skin is looking, and I'm super happy with it. All of the dry little bits of skin have fallen off, and it's left me with like just baby soft skin, and the texture is so lovely, and my skin is really moisturized from all of the lovely products that I've been using from Olive Young. Around here is still very swollen. It hurts to touch, particularly around this area here where I think I clenched my jaw. So I've written a list of a couple more points I want to go over with you, which I think is important for you to know. And the first one is something called Modu-Doc. It's kind of like Google reviews, but in Korea they don't actually really use Google, they use something called Naver. So all the Google reviews that you see about these clinics in Korea are actually not left by Koreans. And that's something I didn't know before just a couple of days ago, and I wish I knew about Modu-Doc beforehand. So let's jump on my laptop and I'll walk you through it. Modu-Doc.com. So this is all in Korean. I can't get it to translate across to English, but that's okay. I've used Google Translate as much as I can. But basically this is a list of all the clinics you'll find in Korea. You have things like dentist, optometrist. This here is dermatologist, plastic surgery. So let's go into dermatologist. And here is a list of all the dermatologists in a 1.5 kilometer radius of where I am now. And you have things like you can choose a specialist, you can choose female only doctor, or you can choose the opening hours. Now down here with all of the clinics, you have a star rating, 8.4, that's out of 10. So they've got 114 reviews. Down here it's 8 stars, they've had 104 reviews. Down here is 9.1 stars and they've had 45 reviews. Let's search WOA. So I can't simply put in WOA, nothing will come up in English lettering, so we'll have to use Korean lettering. I found this on their website and just copy and pasted it. And here it is. It's got 8.9. It's had 9 reviews. If we hop into it, you can go down there, and this will be where all the reviews are. But to see them, you will need to log in and make an account. So this is a great resource that I wish I knew about earlier, though to be honest, I'm really happy with WOA. If you have a couple of clinics in mind, it's definitely worth putting them into this app and really seeing what the locals think about it, because you'll realize that no Koreans go to these foreigner-friendly clinics like Liang Jang, who haven't got very good reviews on this, I might say, and Pipium or Muse. No Koreans will go there because they know they'll get a better service elsewhere and not be treated like cattle, and it will also be more affordable at a Korean clinic. A second thing that I wrote down to tell you was the Korean beauty ideal is very different from other cultures. For example, the Western beauty ideal that I'm used to. So in my consultation, when I was talking to the doctor initially, she suggested, and it was no way an upsell, she just suggested that maybe I have some Botox here in my masseters to relax my face a little bit more, which would have meant relaxing my jawline and making a little bit more round. She also suggested maybe filling in this section here underneath my cheeks to make me have a little bit more of a, not puffier, just a little bit more of a rounded face, because here in Korea they really go for this like baby face look, like a little cherub look, like an angel face. That's absolutely beautiful. I love it. But for me personally, I think I just look like a chubby boy. So when I said to the doctor, oh no, I actually really like a strong jawline and I like having high cheekbones with a bit of a shadow underneath it. I mean, that's what Westerners like. We spend a fortune on contour kits to have that, right? I'm just telling you because if you didn't know that and you went into a consultation here and you were relying solely on what the doctor recommended to you, just know that they might be recommending you things that fit into the Korean beauty ideal and not so much your ideal. Let's have a look at my before and afters. We won't actually see the full effect of these treatments for another 3 months. What I'm gonna do is probably update you on my social media about how it has all gone in 3 months' time. So I will show you my before photos and show you my photo in 3 months' time. And we can compare whether it was worth my time, my money, worth the pain. So I've linked my TikTok account here. Make sure you follow along so you don't miss out. If you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to ask me in the comments. I get back to each and every one of my comments within reason, if you're not being nasty. And there's no such thing as a stupid question when it comes to this. Navigating your way around not only this industry, but doing this in a whole different country that doesn't speak your own language and doesn't really have a lot of information readily available to you, is kind of overwhelming. So please, if you have any questions, ask me. If you have any questions about traveling Korea, please ask me as well. And if you enjoyed this vlog, you found it helpful, please make sure you give me a thumbs up and make sure you follow my account so you don't miss out on my next couple of vlogs. And I guess I'll see you soon.